Hey man, what's going on? It's me again, obviously. And today I wanted to talk about community. Now, what about community specifically? Well, I think that I would say ever since I got to college, actually, honestly, ever since I've been in high school, I feel like I just long for a sense of community, and I started like noticing that longing. And as I've grown, I've just noticed that humans need community. It's not just me, it's everybody. Everybody needs to feel a sense of community. And I was watching this video. You might have seen it, you might have not. If you see my videos, they're kind of similar. Just a guy talking to the camera. It's this guy named Elijah Long, and he was talking about how these men, like primarily his audience, is going retarded from not socializing. And he was basically stating how most men, they go to work, maybe they work out, and that's about it. Maybe they have a girlfriend, maybe they have friends who they do stuff every now and then, but on a day-to-day basis, most of their days consist of go to work, come back home, go to the gym, and that's it. And all of those, like, during all of those things, some people work remotely. Myself, I don't work remotely. I work with people and interact with them. But as technology is progressing, people are working remotely and they're not getting any human interaction. And it's a little bit scary. We find ourselves not only in a male loneliness epidemic, but I think just like a human loneliness epidemic in general. I've heard plenty of women, come out about how they are lonely and they have no social skills, so they have no way to improve it. And going back to that video that Elijah Long made, I was watching that video and I was really interested in what he was saying, because he brought up the idea about circles in life. Like, men usually have 3 circles in life. The first circle is kind of like I was mentioning, the gym, your work life, and you're supposed to have a third circle. And a lot of men nowadays are filling that third circle by playing video games or getting on VR, whatever it might be. Maybe for you it's scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on YouTube Shorts, whatever. But that third circle, I think is really supposed to be more of a communal thing. Because when you go to work, and I'm not saying you can't have friends at work. I have friends at work, and I have friends at work that I hang out with outside of work. I have a pretty special circumstance. I understand that not everybody has that privilege, but for a lot of people, they can't separate the work relationships into their social life. For whatever reason, they like to keep it professional. And basically what I'm trying to say is this third circle that I was referring to, it has to be communal. And Elijah was talking about in that video that he does martial arts and he likes to unite people by doing martial arts, because it's a very personal thing. You can't have your headphones in just listening to music doing martial arts like you do at the gym. Because even at the gym is not a social place. It's more of you put your headphones on, you lock in, and you don't talk to anybody. There's no social interactions. I won't say there's no social interactions, because you can look at somebody and, you know, judge them, or you can analyze them, but you're not talking to them most of the time. I'd be willing to bet. I usually don't talk to people at the gym unless I find somebody I know. I'm like, what's going on, bro? Talk to them for about a minute and say, all right, have a good workout, and that's about it. And I want to preface that I don't hang out with any of those people I see at the gym. Usually it's just basically like, oh, I've seen this guy at the gym a bunch. Like, it's an acquaintance at that point. But going back to the third circle, Elijah was talking about how, you know, he also does frisbee disc golf, and there's so many other things that you can fill it up with. Like me personally, I like to, you know, at least when I'm back in my hometown and I have a YMCA membership, I love going to the YMCA and playing basketball with the old heads and just talking to them, because they always, you know, people like that always have something to say to somebody my age, not necessarily like in a disrespectful way, but I think people of different age groups, whether they understand or whether they realize it or not, they like talking to each other because it's a different, you know, socioeconomic position that you find yourself in. I'm not in the same position as these like 30, 40, 50-year-old men who I'm playing ball with, who have a job, they have kids, they have all this other life experience that I don't have. It's always really interesting to hear their, you know, what they have to say, their viewpoints, and all their wisdom. But that's just an example of what can be used to fill that third circle. Remember the 3 circles of human interaction, basically like community, the 3 circles of community. And I keep referring back to that video that Elijah Long made. I'll link it in the description, but it is really fascinating. I encourage you to go watch it, because there's a lot of people in that comment section who, you know, they're trying to improve, or they, you know, their circumstances are, you know, just kind of similar to me. I'm a 20-year-old man, and me personally, I go to work, I go to school. At school, I keep my headphones on. At work, I talk to people at work, but again, like when I go to the gym, if I anywhere on campus, I got my headphones on. Like, I'm really not talking to anybody. And we desire and we crave to be known and to be seen. And there are like the deepest depths of my personality, and I'm not allowing people to see, because I'm not talking to anybody. And that's kind of why you need your third circle, because you need people to interact with. There are people, you know, people all around you are in the same circumstance. Like, you might find yourself lonely, but so is the person right next to you. Like, go start up a conversation with them. So basically the gist of this is, I challenge you to try to fill in that third circle. If you find yourself, maybe you're a student who goes to school and talks to a few people, but you don't hang out with them outside of school. Maybe you're still in high school, or maybe you're a college student like myself who's got a job, and, you know, you're working school, you're working your job, you're working your body, and, you know, training your mind throughout the whole process, and you feel like you don't have time to interact with people. Bro, just start up a conversation with that dude next to you. Like, maybe if you see somebody at the gym who don't have headphones on, that's a perfect invitation. Go up to him and say something, and maybe comment on his outfit, telling me, hey bro, I like those pants. That's what somebody said to me at the gym the other day, and it made me happy. And now every time I see that guy at the gym, I'm like, what up, bro? And he's like, you got those pants on, because I'm always wearing these like 3/4 length pants. Anyways, I challenge you to fill out that third circle, man. Find some way to connect with people, whether that's going playing basketball, whether that's going playing soccer, whether that's doing fighting classes. And that could just be as well going to the bar. If you're, you know, a person of age to do so. Go to the bar, man. Like, you don't have to go to the bar to pick up girls. You can go to the bar to find friends. And that might sound pitiful, but you got to start somewhere. You know, you got to find these connections. You got to go out, go to the park, play some disc golf. And if there's anybody playing disc golf, just start up some conversation, see if you can join their game. But that's really all I have to say. I will say, well, that's not true. I wrote something down that I wanted to share as well. In that same video that I keep referring to, there was a comment that really stuck with me. It's really interesting. I didn't get the username, I just wrote it down here on my journal, but this guy says the opposite of depression is not happiness, but it's actually connection. Connection with other human beings can solve your depression. And it made me think, like, at my lowest moments, like in my loneliest moments, I think back to it and I was physically by myself. I was alone. I didn't have anybody else to talk to. But if you surround yourself with people who care about you, that is your community, you know, connection, if you will. But yeah, if you find yourself in a rut, you find yourself in a pit of loneliness, maybe the solution is just simply going out and making connections. Yeah, that's all I really had to say today. Appreciate everybody again who's been watching. Maybe if you made it to the end of the video, comment something that you would like me to talk about. Yeah, I'm really just making these videos as these epiphanies are coming to me in real time. So these things that I'm speaking to you about are things that are effectively going on in my life. And, you know, having that said, I know that there's things that go on in other people's lives. So if you're watching this and there's something that's been on your mind, put it down in the comment section and maybe I'll share a thought or two about it, make a video about it. And yeah, that's all I'll say. Y'all take it easy. See you next time.